this, I'm actually losing my voice a little bit from talking so much. I'm talking really ear off. Dave's actually telling people to do stuff specific. I'm just telling stories. Wait, I'll do this. It actually just makes me feel a little bit weird. Like he tells you to do specific stuff, and I just tell rambling stories, and for whatever reason, you all just go out and make $1 million, right? He knows why. Don't you? Yeah, it's kind of fun. Now here it is. I had like 80 people come up to me after Friday that said it felt like you were talking just to me. You do, right? Didn't it? Yeah. Right? Now here's the funny thing, guys, is that there is an art and a skill to creating greatness in your life. And I want you to understand something, that everybody who's here is here for a different reason. Look, some of you guys, you just are desperate, right? And I understand that because I've been desperate before. Right? I've been desperate for a solution. I've been desperate for the right information. Some of you guys are here for, honestly, you came here for the wrong reasons, and now it's getting it right. Some of you guys came here looking for the secret. Like there's a mystical secret to the universe. That if I just give you the secret double backlinking SEO strategy, suddenly tomorrow you're going to get rich on the internet because you know the secret thing that I'm not telling everybody else because obviously I don't want them to succeed. The reality is that this is way simpler than you think that it is. It's way simpler than you think that it is. Now I want to tell you 2 stories real quick. Actually 3, because I've got 3 just unbelievable badasses in this room making a huge amount of money. So I'll tell you 3 crazy stories, right? Number 1 crazy story is this guy. So I met this guy about 3 years ago when you got started on the internet. I ran into him, he joined something I was in. And actually you guys kind of latched on some stuff I was doing, but you had your own unique gifts and personalities, and they're in like crazy land. I mean, these guys are so nuts. When she takes a photo, it doesn't matter if she takes a camera, goes like this, the colors match perfectly, and her face is like in the upper third, like she's an art major in every photo. You know what I'm saying? These guys are super creative marketers, and they started blogging about 3 years ago. Alright? They started blogging, and they started doing what I was doing actually. Right? With their own gifts and skills. They've been making money doing this stuff now, not since Empower Network, but for 3 years straight. It's worked better and easier every year, hasn't it? It's worked better and easier every single year. Now, we never had a vehicle like this where we could actually just go make money, right? God, it was awful to make money, and you guys still made money and you were gifted. But here's what I saw 2 people do, and this is what's unique about Toby and Layla. I saw them get started, just start taking action, and immediately start creating money, and here's exactly how they did it. And listen to this, guys, and focus on this. They immediately went into the circles and got around the people who were getting the results they wanted. Immediately. Right, didn't you guys? They got in, they said, who's making money? They say, okay, Dave Wood's blogging. They started blogging, right? They said, who's good at closing on the phone? There's this guy good at closing on the phone. They moved into his house and were his assistants for a while, and then he talks like him after a while, right? They got into a network marketing company, they got around the richest people, and they were running around doing home meetings for a while until they realized, God, this is awful, and quit, right? Now here's the thing, guys. These guys just latch on to information that works, and they immediately started making money by doing that. They didn't even have a vehicle like this, and it still worked. Lawrence Tam. You know how long I've known him? Same time, 3 years. You want to know how long he's been in my teams? 3 years. You want to know how much he's listened when I've told him to do stuff? He's listened to literally everything I've ever told him that he had time to do. Right? Which unfortunately before Empower, he never had time to do the stuff that would really make him money. Just being honest, and he knows that.
That's honest.
Right? This is actually one of the reasons why I started Empower, and it's why I'm telling you guys about it, because I was frustrated building the team, right? Because I couldn't get anybody in my team to succeed. Because none of them had the time that I had. So the only people that really created success were these superheroes that popped up every once in a while, that had all day and night to make sales videos, that already had 10 years of skill, right? And I saw this man in here working his ass off for 3 years straight, not getting the results he wanted, was pissed off, right? So I created this. Here's the thing though. Lawrence has been at every event I've ever told him to go to, right? Haven't you?
Call it sick a lot.
And more, right? And more. He did it for about 2.5 years, till he came to an event that changed his life, right? Why did that event change his life, right? Hey, I'll see you in the next thing. Here's why the event changed his life, guys. It changed his life because he went number 1. He was frustrated. He was almost ready to quit. Some of you guys came here frustrated. Anybody come here frustrated? Right? You know what I'm saying? You're looking for the seat. He came here, he says, Dave, I don't believe this is possible. And I looked at him, I said, you don't believe what's possible? He said, making $10,000 a month. And I said, what? I don't remember if I laughed.
You did.
I think I thought it was funny, right? Because I was like, dude, you've been doing this for like 2.5 years. $10,000 a month is easy, right? I was like, what's the problem? 15 leads a day, and like, I'm not making any money. I was like, you should be making $15,000 a month. You remember that? But here's the problem is he didn't have a vehicle that worked, right? He always worked hard, he didn't have a vehicle. When we launched this company, he just latched on. He'd seen me produce results long enough. And here was the difference, is now he had what it takes inside. He had made the decision. He was around the people who could help him succeed. He had the vehicle to get it done, and he just latched on with everything. Okay? He latched on with everything. It's your time now. That fair?
Yes.
Right? Guys, some of you guys are in this room, you're thinking, God, there's a lot of people, I'm in this too late. You're going to be running around. Right? I'm just be honest, I know what's going to happen. And there's other people in the room that are going to realize where we're at. And you're going to be the people, okay? And I want you to listen to this. You're going to be standing back there where Lawrence is at right now, in a year. And you're going to be sitting there like this, and Lawrence is going to be standing in front of your team telling your story. And you'll make $600,000. You have to make a decision. Here's the decision that you need to make. You maybe make a decision, you're just going to do it no matter what. Right? You're going to do it no matter what. You're not going to make excuses. Dave, I don't have the money. Stop. Stop. Yeah. Stop. Don't tell me this. Right? Don't tell a homeless guy that. Right? Because I'm going to go, yeah, I might actually burst into laughter. Right? I'm serious. I've been broker. I've probably been broker again. There's maybe a person in here that's been broker. Right? So I'm just not going to take it. Oh, I don't have the time. I was just in Chris Records' room. Right? There's maybe a person in here that's as busy as that guy. 2 kids, works 80 hours a week, has an hour in the evening time, but he focuses. And he made a decision to do it. He made a decision at an event 6 months ago. Last month he made $40,000, and it stemmed from a single decision that he made. Here's the last thing that I'm going to tell you. Change does not happen over time, ever. Right? Skills get developed over time. Evolution happens over time. Right? Change happens 100% of the time instantly. I've seen too many people change. I saw Justin Berengi almost drown, get out of the water. It was like he was baptized, man. I'm just talking like that. Right? You saw that video where he's smashing the computer, and he was funny. There was no real conviction in his eyes. Just being a goofball. When he came out, he almost died or whatever, which, you know, I saved his life, but granted, I almost killed him too. He doesn't tell that when he tells the story. And I actually brought him to the waterfall. It was part of my sneaky plan. No, I was kidding. Right? But the thing is he came out of that thing, and you know what he did is he made a decision. He was just doing it no matter what. I remember back in 2009, living in a van. And you know what? I lived in a van on purpose. Sometimes I don't tell that part of the story either. We actually just wanted to go and just be crazy because we're weirdos. I mean, I still don't wear shoes. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is I lived in a van on purpose, but then I actually got broke enough to where I couldn't do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't realize how hard it is to get a job when you live in a van because you don't have an address, right? And they say, well, where do you live? And I say, well, in my van. And they're like, I don't know if I want to let you in the store, Dave. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I lived in this van in 2009, and I got real broke. I got fired from the only job I had at Greenpeace because I hated jobs, you know, so I was always jumping from job to job. I think I had like 25 jobs by the time I was 21 or some crazy shit like that, right? But I always had all these jobs, all this crazy stuff, but one day, I just kept getting woken up by the police. It was like the 3rd time in a row that night, because you're not allowed to sleep in a van from the hours of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in Hawaii, because apparently, you know, it's not in the anti-homeless law. They just don't. You sleep then in the car. So they wake me up, and it's like 2 in the morning, and I have to, you know, I wake up, and I'm just mad, and there's a cop out there, and, you know, I argued with him for half an hour, and I was like, you know, you don't love your family, you know. And I had to move my car, and I was just fuming mad. But you know what I did? This is a funny thing. I just said, fuck this. Right? I'm serious, right? And I just changed. Right? You know how long it took me to create like an unbelievable life? Then. Just took a couple months to manifest. Right? Some of you guys are here. We've been putting pressure on you a little bit. Some people think pressure's bad. Right? Broke people think that. Pressure creates diamonds. Right? Pressure creates diamonds. Pressure creates change. And if I don't put pressure on you sometimes by exerting, right, what I know, because I just don't take bullshit. That's the great thing about me, right? Is because I say, hey, I'm going to stand here with no shoes and just look crazy and still make so much money that all of you have to listen to me because I think it's hilarious. Right? But I just can't take bullshit anymore. Because I've just seen so many people succeed. I can't have you say, well, I failed for years and can't do it because I've seen him do it. I can't hear you say, well, I can't do it because, I'm brand new because I saw them be brand new and then succeed virtually instantly. I can't hear you say, well, I smoke pot and I can't do it because we got Justin Berengian. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter who you are, right? You can do it. I've just seen too many stories. We have too much success in Empower Network. Here's what we got in the room. 600,000 last year. 300-something thousand last year, half the year not doing nothing, right? Yeah, they just were goofing off doing home meetings and stuff because they thought it was fun. This guy, right? 500,000 last year. Right? Now there's probably a bunch more stories in the room at varying levels from that, and I actually can't see around. Guys, I want you to look at that by itself. Here's what I want you to look at. This guy was like a construction dispatcher a few years ago. This guy here was an engineer, right? These guys here were broke-ass musicians, right? Probably the most charismatic of any of the people up here. Is Lawrence really a charismatic, flamboyant guy? Right, you know what I mean? Is he like wearing hippie clothes and is he like telling stories and rhymes? You know what I'm saying? Chuck Marshall, he doesn't even want to speak. Now he does because he's kind of learning how to do it, but he came to our speakers saying he's actually speaking tomorrow, so give him a hand for that first hand. So right here, now you got the crazy weird guy, sure, but then you got that guy, and then you've got him, and he's an engineer, right? And I'm sure his wife, I'm married, and he'd been doing this stuff for years with me, and I'm sure she was like, another thing, right? Right? And that's what wives do, and it's okay, it's cool, right? Because he'd been around with me for years, not making any money, and frustrated all night, working all night, right? She's like, I want to spend time with you. And he'd still go on dates and then work at night, super organized guy. But here's the thing that he did, right? He said, I'm just doing it. Now, after the first 50,000 months, you might have been like, yeah, that won't last, right? But then it's like, wow, 600,000 the next year. Now she's here at the event with him. And you know what? Without her, he ain't nothing. He just loves his family more than you can imagine. This man is a family man. He loves his family. It's why he does what he does. So give Lawrence Tam a hand. I love working with you guys. I was so bummed when you were doing that vitamin deal. I was like, man, right? I just love you. You guys are so bad at it. They're so funny, you know what I'm saying? When Toby says, don't be a wussy, or however he says it, like I'm just like, I just want to listen to him say it again, you know what I'm saying? Guys, you can do this. This is going to be 10 times bigger in a year, right? And I do not care about your background, because the past doesn't damn equal the future. And here's what you need to do, is you need to do what these guys tell you to do, okay? You need to do what your leaders tell you to do. And here's what they're going to tell you to do. Number one, focus. 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 Right? Why? You got this much creative energy. Focus it. Focus. Get all in. Right? Get to Chicago. Who in here is going to be at Chicago with a team? You bought your tickets. Ooh. Right? Get your tickets before tomorrow, because the price will go up tomorrow. Okay? And here's why you should buy your tickets to Chicago. You should buy them because when you make a commitment, you need to take action. That moment, if you want your unconscious mind to keep giving you direction to reach your goals. And you guys will understand that in a year. Some of you understand it right now. But just trust me, take action the second you make a decision. That's what leaders do. It's what this man did. It's why he is where he's at. Because when I launched this company, he came up to me and said, I got to pay for this. I've known you for years. I said, yeah. And he said, okay. And then he immediately went out in a frenzy building a team. Didn't know half of what you were doing, I don't think. But it was just action do you remember what it felt like to be in the middle of moving in action totally unconsciously? Just fighting forward, on fire. That's what it takes. Everyone in here can do that to one level or another, and you can do it right now. There's not a person in this room that can't make 10,000 in the next 30 days. If you fight like nothing else exists, some of you can do a lot more. Some of you guys are badass, and you're like, I'm going to make more than Vic made. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. But but you guys can do whatever you want to do here. But now is the time, because you always change in a moment. And my question is are you ready to really release your inner badass? Because that's what the Power Network is about. You guys ready? Tomorrow in the all-in meeting, so upgrade to everything and buy everything like you.